Our planet is full of beautiful and majestic animals. Some are deadly, venomous critters, some have very odd mating habits, some just poo weird. In today's video we'll be sharing some interesting, odd and scary facts about some of our animal co-inhabitants. Mosquitoes. With a human death toll in the billions over the years, this little insect is probably the deadliest on the planet. They carry and transmit diseases like malaria, dengue, yellow fever and the Zika virus, to name but a few. Mosquito-carried diseases and illnesses affect roughly 700 million people each year, resulting in approximately 700,000 deaths. Studies have shown that they prefer people with O-type blood. Dung beetles. These little poop eaters are incredibly strong. Perfectly named, the dung beetle spends its life surrounded by, living in and surviving on poop. There are some that roll the poo, some that bury the poo, and some that simply exist within piles of it. The dung beetles that roll the poop are so ridiculously strong that they can pull balls of poop up to 1,141 times their own body weight, which is the equivalent of you or I pulling two fully loaded 18-wheeler trucks. Hippos. These water-dwelling mammals are most often found soaking it up in lakes and rivers, keeping cool and out of the hot African sun. They spend most of their days bathing, only emerging when the sun goes down to graze. While grazing, if threatened, these enormous creatures can hit a top speed of 30 miles an hour. Wombats. I'll apologise in advance that we're back to poo already, but I couldn't make a video about the oddities of the animal kingdom without mentioning these cube-shaped wombat turd nuggets. It's taken scientists a good long while to figure out why wombat poo is cubed. Their bums aren't square, so how do these six-sided turds end up that way? Well, it's all down to their intestines. They're incredibly long, up to 9 metres in length in a 1 metre long body. In comparison, ours are just under 5 metres long. Because they are so long, the digestion process can take up to 5 days. These little fellas suck out all the moisture and nutrients of their diet in that time, and as a result of the slow digestion, their poos are squished and compressed, which lead to cube poo. Koalas. You wouldn't think that a koala could contaminate a crime scene just by touching stuff. Well, these cute, cuddly little marsupials have almost identical fingerprints to our own. Even scrutinising them under a microscope, it's near impossible to differentiate human fingerprints from koalas. They have ridges that form loops, whorls and arches just like ours do. Strangely, they're even closer to our own fingerprints than the prints of chimpanzees. And while it's highly unlikely that a koala could contaminate a crime scene, it's not out of the realms of possibility. Armadillo. These armoured mammals have been around for around 60 million years, and in that time 21 different species of armadillo have evolved. The only one of these native to North America is the 9-banded armadillo, and although named as such, they can occasionally have 7 or even 10 bands. And while odd to look at, that's not why they're on this list. A female 9-banded armadillo produces a single egg. That single egg, once fertilised, splits into 4 genetically identical embryos that share one placenta. Essentially, the armadillos make clones. Giant anteater. Giant anteaters have no teeth, so they use their long sticky tongues to reach into termite mounds and to ant holes to catch their dinner. Relative to their bodies, which can be anywhere from 6 to 8 foot long, including their tails, anteaters have super long tongues, reaching almost 2 foot in length. Duck-billed platypus. These sure are one of the weirdest animals on our planet. These semi-aquatic egg-laying mammals don't have nipples to feed their offspring. Instead, the mama's milk oozes from mammary gland ducts on their stomachs. The duck-billed platypus is one of very few venomous mammals. The males have venomous spurs on their hind legs, thought to be used in mating season to fight off competing males. Oh, and to top it all off, they're also bioluminescent, glowing a bluey green under UV light. Sloths. Three-toed sloths are literally too lazy to go looking for a mate, so a female sloth will often sit in her tree and scream until a male comes along. The average dog. Several research studies have shown that man's best friend is just as smart as a 2-year-old child. The smartest of all dog breeds is the Border Collie, with one woofer from South Carolina, called Chaser, was known to be able to recognise over 1,000 words. The golden poison dart frog. This little frog is the most poisonous creature we share our planet with. At only 2 inches long, they are so poisonous that you don't even need to eat one to die. Just touching them can be incredibly dangerous. An average adult frog produces enough poison at any single time to kill 10 humans. Adult frogs are so toxic that it's thought that they only have one natural predator. I'm not even going to try and say this. It's a snake found in South America said to be immune to the frog's toxicity. The female dragonfly. Now, this is drastic. The female moorland hawker dragonfly can oftentimes find themselves being harassed by males whilst laying their eggs. So to avoid unwanted further sexual advances, the female will fake her own death, fall out of the sky and lay motionless until the male leaves and she can carry on with her day. Sounds like a plan. Boxer crabs. These little guys just melt my heart. They are usually around 1 inch long and can be found in the shallow waters in the Indo-Pacific region. They have quite an unusual way to fend off predators, being so small and tiny. What can you do to fight off big things that want to eat you? Well, you could see an enemy and carry them like weapons. They brandish these stingy tentacled anemones, waving them aggressively until the predator backs off. Oh, but they're just so adorable! Manatees. The manatee is mostly herbivore, fully aquatic marine mammal. Unlike fish, mammals don't have swim bladders to control their buoyancy, so these gentle sea cows control their buoyancy with farts. Holding them in will allow them to sink, and letting one rip means they'll float to the surface. Human brains. The human brain is always on, running in the background, awake or asleep. It's estimated that our brains use between 12 to 20 watts to function. That's around 16 pence per day to run at current energy prices, which is around 20 cents in US dollars. Human farts. On average, you and I fart enough in one day to fill a party balloon. I hope you enjoyed this weird journey through our animal kingdom. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.